discuss needing to update his phone because he's been avoiding it for so long. I said, just do it. Stop avoiding it. Just do it. He started the update. And through the update, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what button I pressed, but I just factory erased my entire phone. And I said, that was stupid. How did you manage to do that? He goes, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. And I just clicked the button and it happened. And I said, okay, that's unfortunate.
Wait, did she admit that she knew he was doing this to the daughter this whole time?
No. She claimed she had no clue. Yeah. And then once she finds out, she says, okay, fine. Quote, this happened, but I don't think he has anything to do with her disappearance. Did he tell you that he meant to reset his phone? No, he didn't tell me. He acted like and said it was an accident. Twice. You don't find that odd? Of course I find that odd. That's suspicious as hell. Then later in the interview, she says it again. That Monday after Stefan drops Maddie off at school, he's so normal. She says he was sitting on the computer chair, chatting away with me, talking about resetting his phone, not resetting his phone, updating his phone. She keeps slipping up on that. It's interesting.
Talking about not resetting his phone, updating his phone.
Additionally, because not only did Stefan reset his phone that afternoon, but later that night. So after the first night of searching for Maddie, he reset his phone once more at midnight. So he did it twice. He factory resets his phone twice.
Wow.
There's so much leakage.
But again, she says, I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy, but I didn't think he would be the type to do something like this. Earlier in the interview, though, she mentions that Stefan always lies to his parents. He steals from his parents, which, by the way, his parents are a big part of this case now. They've been doing interviews, and we're going to go over that in part 2. He lies to his parents, steals from his parents, is always manipulating his parents. When detectives confront her, like, what do you mean you just trusted him and never thought he would do something like that when you have said nothing positive about his character? You say he has bad judgment, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, oh, well, I trusted him. What made you trust him? It doesn't make sense. She just argues, well, yeah, lying to them, his parents, yes, but lying to me? I never thought he would do that. The police question why she didn't grill Stefan more about that day of dropping off Maddie, because she just claims, she was like, oh, did you drop her off? He's like, yeah. She just runs with it. Even if Stefan is biologically Maddie's father, this is something that you see a lot in cases where parents start blaming each other. They start grilling each other. Like, why weren't you?
Now, when Jen came into that interview, she didn't know that the officers had that evidence yet and the CSAM and all the pictures. So she was still sticking up for Stefan until the officer flips the script, and then she switches with him and tries to act like, oh, what happened? What evidence do you have? She's trying to be on his side. Now, Linda, absolutely 110% what you're saying is why he had her in the front seat. But why take her out of the front seat and move her to the trunk and then not drive to your destination to dump Maddie's body? And I even hate saying dump the body, but to get rid of Maddie's body, he could have kept going and then went to his destination. But instead, he put her in the trunk and went back to the house, in my opinion, to figure out what he was going to do next, you guys. All right. Yeah. Not shocked. Normal reaction. He tells her, yeah, we all see it.
Doing this, what you could have looked, you could have done this, it becomes the whole thing. She was just like, oh, you dropped her off? You were the last person to see her? Oh, okay. Yeah. She claims that she trusted him and that she was medicated. She's spewing all of this, and the detective shuts her down. The detective says, juvenile robbery suspects utilize the excuse of, I was high on drugs, I was blacked out. Every juvenile robbery suspect I interview, in your words, medicated. In their words, they're high, incapacitated, drunk. It is an excuse to avoid admitting what happened. When you say you were medicated, I can't think of an amount of medication that would numb you so bad to the fact that there's an investigation right in front of your face for your missing daughter. Being medicated is just an excuse to avoid answering why you didn't discuss with him what happened. It minimizes your guys' interactions by saying you were not fully coherent. There is not a single person that I know that can sit in a car and watch a bunch of detectives and crime scene investigators and everybody else search your house, seize your house, and be so numb that somehow it's not ringing bells. It's not overcoming the power of this little medication. There's no way. Nope. The human body will overcome that in a big situation. You didn't take enough medication to numb you of the reality of what was occurring. I mean, there's no way. Unless you're fully incapacitated, there's no way that you were so numb that everything he described to you, I described to you, was not in the forefront of your mind. You weren't numb. Just like these robbery kids weren't blacked out. They weren't high enough to not remember the robbery. They just don't want to talk about it.
Damn.
Bam.
No, it just wasn't clicking. It didn't click to me. I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy, that you guys were wasting time, that the real suspect is out there. She has these moments throughout the multiple hours long interrogation that have me staring at her through my peripherals, just side-eyeing her, because she tells officers,
I ugly cried on the way home. I shouldn't have been driving. But I
Oh,
had a food
well,
cart on
where
the way
are you
home,
now?
and I went straight home.
She's
We're
just
not-
telling officers this unprovoked.
It's
And
all
they
about
respond with
her.
silence because what a strange random thing to say. But clearly it means a lot to her because she brings it up twice with two different sets of detectives. Stefan and I were in separate cars. I ugly cried on the way home, sobbing, like where I couldn't see the road. I shouldn't have been driving. Like I was swerving. I ugly cried on the way home and
You
I went
should have
straight
hit
home.
something.
She also asks when she's going to get her laptop back because she has 10 years worth of pictures of Maddie in there that she really wants to print out because all of her pictures of Maddie are digital, which again, the officers don't even know what to say because the way she's asking is so nonchalant. But also, should she not be more focused on bringing her daughter back versus her laptop and figuring out where her daughter is?
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the obvious in-your-face reasons that one might have a distaste for Jennifer Soto, there are certain things that she does when she's questioned by the police that, and this could be me absolutely losing my mind after listening to 20 plus hours of footage and going through so many court documents, be that as it may.
Oh,
Jennifer
she
is
does.
making me pull my hair out.
She did all
Every
that.
single time authorities ask her a question, she hits him with a, I want to say.
Yeah.
Additionally, she has this very bizarre tendency to respond to questions with, I want to say, or I'm going to say. What time did you wake up? I want to say 9.
Yep.
Just say 9. Just say 9. Did you see her? I'm going to say I didn't see her. Just say you didn't see her.
Too.
My
wanna
skull
say-
was turning into a bowl of neuro pudding just listening to her. Do I need to calm down? Yes. Am I going to calm down? No, because she just keeps engaging in so much small talk for someone whose daughter is not only missing, but whose daughter she just found out has been victimized for perhaps half of her daughter's life. She will be on the way to the police station and small talking with officers about how she briefly lived in New York City and hated the subway commutes. She says, worked in the office, partied that night. That was exhausting, honestly. I did not like it. I just like going home and going to sleep. Her daughter is missing. But full transparency, the reason I think I truly dislike her is after finding out that Stefan has been essaying her daughter, documenting the entire crime over the years under her roof, and clearly the police believe that he is involved in her disappearance, Jennifer disagrees and she says, quote,
That was my biggest fear, is that she was being trafficked. I didn't think that she would actually be dead.
Maddie
What?
was being trafficked in her own home, essentially. When
She literally did say that, folks. And, we always speculate if Jen Soto was involved in the CSAM and what she was getting out of it and the money that she was splitting with Stefan and what he was providing her for her daughter. She just said it right there. She was like, oh, yeah, I just thought she was trafficked or something. I didn't think she'd be dead. And then she continues to move on about what she's talking about. Literally, that she's talking about her own daughter right there. So the trafficking's fine and that's okay, but now you just took my my meal ticket. You took my money train away by taking her life. Damn. Mic drop.